Good morning from Australia. David, you are live. Have a great show.
Thank you. I'm just drinking some tea. Um, excuse the pause. So, welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here from Australia. It's morning here in Australia, and it's a very bright day. The sun is shining, a blue sky. And I'm happy to have everyone here. Please write in your comments where you're from and any requests for readings, please send them through. And any topics you'd like me to talk about, just send them in the comments section. Like and share wherever you are in the world. Let's get some movement, some action, some excitement. And I'm just happy to be here because I was busy for a couple of weeks actually with lectures, and I didn't sleep so well for a couple of nights, so it's all a bit intense with all the studying. So I'm happy it's over. And Cynthia, thank you so much. Thank you for coming, Cynthia. I'm really excited to see you. And North Carolina, beautiful part of America. And Marie Stevens, remind me where you are, Marie. I think, where are you, Marie? I cannot remember. So remind me again where you are, Marie. And Stu, welcome. And great to see you. And Stu is a special friend of mine in the States, in California. So welcome, Stu. And let me know where you are. And then what you would like me to talk about, throw your questions out. Marie, you're in Perth, of course. So Perth is Australia. It's a little town on the west coast of Australia. And it's pretty isolated. It's the most isolated place in the world of its size. So a city of its size, it's the most isolated in the world. So you have to travel pretty far to get anywhere like a city. And the reason Perth is interesting to me is because my family live there. So so that's really important. And Maria, I'm reading your comments and self-acceptance. So let's talk a little bit about self-acceptance, and then we'll do a quick meditation. So when we speak about self-acceptance, who is the self that we're talking about? So keep asking, what does it mean, self-acceptance? What is the self that I'm talking about? Is it a self that I think I am? I think I want to be. I expect myself to be. I expect that I'm going to be a particular look, a particular. I've reached a certain stage in life, a certain success. However, I define success, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whether it's relational, with relationships, our career, financial situation. There's so many layers and so many dimensions of our lives. Each angle we can look at comes back to which self are we willing to accept? Which self are we able to accept? Which self do we want to accept? Because the self that we imagine is often not the reality, and it can go in different directions. Sometimes we think of ourselves as being 20 years old or 18 years old, or for instance, maybe that can have a positive can have a positive role in certain things that we may do, that we keep lively, we keep young and youthful, which is a positive. So our self-image, how we see ourselves, is not it's not necessarily good, it's not necessarily bad. It's just about what is working for us. And the image that our self, I always think the self-image, what's helpful is if it's centered and balanced and in the middle. So we want to keep learning, we want to keep growing, moving forward. However, we're not cruel about, being over 30 years old, or cruel about being not the president of the United States, or cruel about not having 2.5 kids, or a husband, whatever it is that you feel you want, you feel you need, that you feel you should have, there's always going to be a gap in the reality, because even when you get something, the way the mind works is then it's reaching for something else. It's reaching for the next thing. So you reach the top of the mountain, and now what? So there's always this question, all right, well, that's great. Now what? Because the next day is going to come, and you're going to be down the mountain, and then what are you going to do? So we're constantly reaching, we're constantly working with a present that is unsatisfactory, and it's just essential, and perhaps we'll do a meditation that we work on accepting the present moment as it is, and with all its imperfections. We are here in a way to perfect the world. We're here to perfect ourselves, and this idea that there is self-perfection ever exists, it's just not true, because even if you run a marathon, then that's going to affect your whole life. It's going to impact on your relationships. It's going to impact on you're going to need to rest. So then there's recovery period. You won't be able to spend so much time with your family and friends because you need to train. You need to be training for the marathon. So everything affects everything else. Everything's interconnected. And my point about self-acceptance is finding a middle place where you can be yourself and be able to accept the imperfection of yourself as while striving for growth. So as long as you find that center, and you're never going to achieve a perfect center, because life is always moving. So it requires you to constantly move in a new direction. Self-acceptance often comes from the challenge of self-acceptance comes from our childhood often, and previous influences, previous relationships, particularly the first 7 years of our lives are very influential. How we were treated by other family members, what was happening around us at the time, what was the situation we were birthed into. Now, I truly believe we're never victims. So we choose our circumstances, we choose the family, we come into the world with pre-soul contracts. So there's an agreement that's already taken place. This is the kind of life situation you're going to be birthed into. These are your parents. This is your family situation. This is where you live. These are the kinds of opportunities you will receive. So at a spiritual level, at a soul choice level, we are choosing. We're not victims of any of those experiences. However, from an emotional level, from a sort of the consciousness that we have as a child, we definitely can be victims. We definitely can feel victimized and feel a lot of turbulent emotions, particularly when there's cruelty, abuse, suffering. And some people have quite a happy childhood, but a lot of us had suffering, abuse, violence, a lot of anger, rage, very extreme emotions, very polarizing feelings that really pushed us. Now, we can look at that as, this was a bad experience, and it was. However, it was for our growth. So we grow more in the fire. That's just the reality. We grow more in the fire. It doesn't mean that you should go into the fire, but some people definitely choose incredible. They choose incredible levels of achievement where they want to reach for the stars. There's a woman in Australia. What was it? She ran, I can't remember, a month of marathons or something like that. Every day for a month she ran. She ran all around Australia, and I think it may have even been 40 days or something like that. And every day she ran a marathon. And her feet were incredibly swollen, incredibly damaged, blisters everywhere, and that's what I didn't understand. I thought that how does a person confront such pain and keep going by choice? Because she could have chosen to stop, and instead of choosing to stop, you would totally understand, and you would think, yeah, you need to care for yourself. You need to think about your, fine, achievements, great, but what about your body? What about caring for your body? And she had that goal in mind, and she just kept going. And so that's not for everyone, and I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily advocate that kind of life. I always, as I've repeatedly say, the Buddha's middle way. I always think, well, find a moderation in whatever you're doing, eating, sleeping, whatever other things you're doing, working, whatever's in your life. Set your goals at a moderate level, and that's going to, in the long term, lead to the greatest satisfaction. And you won't spend 6 months recovering. She's a young woman, so I don't remember her name. If I could find her name, I could give more information, but I was just struck by this young woman with this incredible will and this incredible goal that was she was just running marathons every day, and that was it. Nothing was going to get in her way. And I was like, wow, I was really inspired, to be honest. I thought, this is incredible. And then I read about her feet and how she couldn't wear shoes or something like that. Her feet she said her feet were double in size. And I thought, well, maybe this is going too far. And really, our self-acceptance doesn't need us to run a marathon every day for however long. And I'm just going to search on Google, see if I can find this woman and what she actually did, this extraordinary feat of running across Australia. Let's see. All right, I think I found her. So I underestimated what she did. Chana Murray Bartlett. So she, 32-year-old, finished 3,900 miles, which is a marathon every day for 150 days. Oh my God. So she did a marathon every day for 150 days. So that is extraordinary. What a woman. So, so that's I don't know what she's going to be like in 10 years or in 20 years, what her body's going to be like. If she's probably young enough that she can recover. I don't know. The powers of recovery are extraordinary, but I just think the feat of running a marathon every day for 150 days across all territory, desert, all sorts of terrain, all sorts of weather conditions. That is just it's just remarkable. But coming back to this topic of self-acceptance, because I'm not sure that is relevant, because that's one extraordinary woman and one extraordinary feat, and it's not. I don't think any of us are planning to run a marathon every day for 150 days. But what happens if we did? What happens if we did decide to set a goal that was so high that it was almost unreachable, almost something that is just once in a lifetime, that is one in the world, the only person in the world to do such an achievement? We would still have this idea of self-acceptance, because once you set that goal, then you still have to accept the up days, the down days, the challenges. You have to accept yourself for how you are. Self-acceptance is about accepting all parts of ourselves, and how many of us actually do that? When we look in the mirror, are we able to truly embrace every single part of ourselves, not just the parts we like, the parts that we think are good, the positive things, but also the things that we perceive as weaknesses. So I believe in the unconditional part of this is really important. And one of the practices I recommend is looking in the mirror and just laughing at your comment, Marie, about your knee. And yeah, so what goals could you set for yourself that would be achievable, but you wouldn't do lifelong damage to your body or your mind or any part of you? So I think that's where I would, that's what I would advocate, something that's achievable, but without killing you or without doing permanent damage. Like, I don't know how that lady will recover, if she will recover completely, but that's an extraordinary feat, and good on her, and it's pretty inspiring. So it's great to think about your life as if you imagine setting a goal for yourself and putting 1,000% into that goal and not quite reaching it. So say her goal is 150 marathons and she got to 149, then that would you be able to accept that 149 marathons is a crazy achievement? That's just way beyond any other human capacity or what we thought a person could achieve. So could you accept yourself with getting there? And I feel like that's, most of us do have goals and we are working towards something, and yeah, we haven't yet got the whatever it is, all the shiny things. That we're on the path, we're on the journey, and we've done so much, we've achieved so much, and accept that this perfect life, it just doesn't quite exist, because there's so many examples of people who did achieve so much and then they lost everything, or I know someone, for instance, who Michael Schumacher, who was very, very young when he had achieved everything. He was this remarkable Formula One racing driver who was just on top of the world, and then he went skiing and had an accident skiing, and now he's unfortunately he's still alive, but he's not so well. He's not unfortunately he's not quite there. So that accident, I think it was about 15 years ago, or 2013. So he was in his early 40s, and you would think someone like that, you would think like, wow, beautiful wife, children, incredible wealth, physically incredible physical fitness. He was in peak condition, untold wealth, a fortune, fame, and now he can't quite function after that accident. So whatever he achieved is he still achieved that. That's permanent. However, sorry for that. I just lost my video feed. So whatever we achieve, it can be short-lived, and life is short-lived. So acceptance is accepting that a moderation, that we're not going to necessarily be running 150 marathons. Perhaps a goal for us is to run half a marathon. Whatever it is, that doesn't really matter. Just know that you are loved, and you come from love. So getting in touch with our source is really helpful, and our source is love. And in a way, we just here like children to explore. We're here like children to explore. We're not here to be X, to be Y, to be whatever it is. These things are really human identification, and humans create these ideas of I should be this, I should be that, I should have this, I should have that. If you could put yourself in a cave and own nothing, then how would you be? How would you feel? If you could take all your possessions and achievements away and be alone in a cave with nothing, how would it be for you? I do have the experience of a mentor and someone I learned from who is a monk, and he lives in a cave, and he has a couple of robes as a monk, and that's all, and a toothbrush, and that's all and a flashlight. And I'm just thinking he's got a little sort of sleep, it's like a yoga mat, like a sleep mat he sleeps on, and that's all he has. A flashlight, a toothbrush, and he's got his monk's robes. I think they usually have two robes, and that's everything. And he's very happy. He's always smiling. He's appreciating the value of the present moment and the gift of being here, of being conscious, of being in this world, of being able to explore. And I'm reading your comments, Cynthia. All I want is my son to be happy and maybe some modicum of joy for me. So that's beautiful to have a wish for other people to be happy, because I think I really believe the more we make other people happy or help other people become happy, then actually it rubs off and we receive the joy. The more we give, the more fulfillment we get. So giving really is fulfilling and leads to joy. So that's beautiful, Cynthia. And just having that intention that's really strong, that's really beautiful, and that energy is felt by other people, whether consciously or not, that they feel it. They may not be consciously aware of it, but they do feel it. So any other comments about self-acceptance? I'm just catching up on the comments, and I did offer through the heal.me link. The first session is free, so if you want a quick coaching call, catch up, or want some spiritual counseling or some advice to help you, then feel free to book that in. I do ask that you write a review. That's all I ask, that you write a review. So that really helps me, because those reviews are what people look at and what people value for whatever reason. People like reviews. It's just the way of this world. When so many of the things you choose, like how do you find a dentist, for instance? You ask your friends, oh, can you recommend a dentist? Who do you go to? Or you hear someone talking about their dentist and they say, oh, I found this amazing dentist. And then you're like, oh, I want to go to that dentist. So we hear something from another person about their experience, and that's the strongest factor in our decision making. We hear, oh, this person had a massage therapist, and oh, I had a massage and it was like the most amazing massage, and you're like, oh, who was the massage therapist? I want to find out. I want to go. So personal reviews are the most powerful. So that's all I ask for in return. I'm just reading. Cynthia is in pain. So let's send love to Cynthia. I'm not sure what's going on with Cynthia. I hope everything's okay with you. And we're just going to send some love to Cynthia. And welcome to Jade. That's wonderful to have you. And we're doing some readings. We're going to do a meditation. And we've been discussing self-acceptance today, and we're going to do some readings, and we'll do a quick meditation tune-up. So and we'll get into the readings. So please put in your comments. And Cynthia, I'm sorry about your spine. My dad has the same thing, spinal stenosis, so I know something about it. It can be very painful. Your essentially your vertebrae are too close together. So it's an issue with those vertebrae. So sending you lots of love. And with our meditation, so make sure you're in a safe place. Feel free to send in comments and share with your friends, like and share. And if you would like to donate, there's also a donation link. All I would ask is if you do have a reading that you do share, and either share or send a donation just to keep the energy flowing and to expand the work and the influence and how we can create a better world by loving each other, sharing, and moving towards a more spiritual ascension, which is what the world needs more than anything else. And Jade, we'll come back to you after the meditation, so if you can stay on. So we've got a request for a reading from Jane. Helen Bergen, welcome. Great to see you back, and I'm excited to see you. And thank you for sharing. I really do appreciate that. And I think that's about all the comments. Crystal as well, welcome. Great to see you, Crystal. Carlos, that's fantastic. Good to see you. I'm doing well, Carlos. I had a very busy couple of weeks with a lot of Buddhist lectures. So lots and lots of material. And Helen, we will come back to you after the meditation, so we can do Jade and then Helen. All right, beautiful. So now we're going to have our meditation. So always remember to get really comfortable if you're sitting, to have a really strong position, essentially with your back upright and straight, and then the rest of you relax. So feet are not crossed. So feet, uncross your feet if they're crossed, or your legs. So connect your feet. Make if you can just align yourself in the straightest position like that, as best you can. So also you don't want to be leaning your head. You want to be in a really solid position, feet connected to the ground. I put my hands in a mudra like that in my lap. And before we meditate, just you can be lying down, Jade. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, lying down is fine. So gently now we are going to close our eyes. And as we do so, becoming aware of our body with a deep breath in. Using our awareness to feel into our physical body. And as we breathe, feeling a greater sense of ease and acceptance, more and more relaxation. Setting an intention of self-acceptance for this practice today. Just taking some deep belly breaths. allowing all disconnected or fragmented energies to be released. As we breathe in oneness, breathe in integration, breathe in balance, so we start to feel calm, balanced, in harmony. As we breathe in, feeling this inner harmony expand throughout our being, throughout our body, throughout our life, our energy. This harmony expanding into all aspects of our life. Including those parts of our life which we have not fully accepted or integrated. It could be a physical part of yourself, perhaps aging, pain, some kind of physical condition. For our self-acceptance to be really powerful, it's important we accept all parts of ourselves, even those parts that we did not choose, we did not wish for, we did not want. Accepting all of those now. Almost like you're willing to accept those things you do not want to accept, those things you do not want, almost like you chose them. Accepting them almost like you chose them, however much suffering they have brought you. The goal is to find peace and balance with the present moment, with our present life conditions, how they are. And instead of trying to force change, to force life to accommodate us, to force life to be how we wish it to be, we simply allow ourselves to surrender fully to how life is, to surrender fully to all aspects of our life. And as we sit in or lie in our still place, feeling so much safety and more stillness, it's almost like our whole life becomes harmonized into a symphony, where all parts that were previously out of balance become balanced. All parts of our life that brought us suffering become completely accepted. And we do so with love. If any doubts creep in, if you feel any resistance, that's natural. Allow love to fill your heart. And this loving acceptance is filled with the sounds of nature around you, the sounds of life. Life is supporting you. You are part of life. You're part of this divine symphony. And every part of you is okay. Every part of you is beautiful. Breathing deeply this idea of acceptance. Accepting fully every part of yourself. And loving every single part of yourself. Every single part of your life. Creating this space and spaciousness filled with love. Filled with grace. Peace. You are where you are meant to be. You are exactly who you are meant to be, and having exactly the experience that was chosen for you. You are chosen by God, by the divine, to be here, to be in this experience. With all parts of you alive, all parts of you accepted as part of this expression of the divine. Breathing in peace, accepting all of yourself. Breathing in love, accepting all of your life. And just for a couple of silent moments, we shall embrace ourselves with love and acceptance and joy. You are part of the perfection of the whole universe. You are playing your part in the divine symphony. Just breathing that in, feeling that within your heart. And now we shall start to slowly bring ourselves out of meditation, moving your hands and feet, stretching out your body, taking in the temperature of the room around you and the light putting your attention on your eyes. If you're ready, you may gradually open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome back. I'm just catching up on the comments. I hope that was helpful. And let's just finding the reading. So Charlotte, is there anything coming up for me this month? So let's see what time we have. Justin Stevens, welcome. That's wonderful. And Penny would like a reading. Thank you so much, Helen and Jade. So I think we said we would just. I think I said I would start with Jade. And just going back on the readings to. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. So we'll start with Jade and just clearing the energy. After Jade, I think we'll do Helen. And thank you, Marie, for sharing. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much. And all right, so we're going to start with Jade. So just clearing the energy. Just clearing the energy. And let's see what cards we're going to. Okay. All right, so let's start, Jade. So there's quite a strong energy around you. There's a sense of achievement and ambition, and there's definitely an intelligence in your family. And you're chosen to be incarnated in quite a strong energy, a strong time. There's quite a lot of movement around yourself and your family. So I'm seeing travel, and it's like almost like you've relocated as your family, and there's a relocation, and there's quite a strong sense of achievement. You have a lot of creativity in you, but there is definitely a scientific side to your family, to your context. Travel, meeting meaningful people, and it feels like at times it's a little bit overwhelming to be in that energy for you. You're not quite sure what to do with it. So important you play as well with that energy, and also there's an energy of psychology. So you could have there's quite a number of career fields you could be pursuing. I feel like you want to embrace quite a number of angles in your life. And that's great. You have a large family. So there's the card that actually comes up for you is calling for the wisdom of balance. So it's saying that sorry about that, Jade. So the energy of balance. So it's saying yin yang energy. You need this moving through cycling experiences. There's that energy is here to help you. So there's change. There's a lot of change, and there's quite a it's quite a dynamic energy you have, and your social sphere. There's a dynamism, and you have to understand that there's a yin cycle, there's a yang cycle, there's things happening under the surface, there's movement, and allow your feminine receptivity, intuition to gestate, to allow sometimes more time to allow things to wrap up, to complete, to cycle through things, because sometimes it's you're rushing a bit too much, and it's affecting the cycles you're in, and the balance you can achieve. So use the cycles for positive gain. Use them to get where you would like to get. Use them in a way that allows patience, because there's a lot of impatience around you. So that impatience is like an energy where you want things immediately. Slow down, and definitely if you can meditate, it would help. That you could even do the recording of this. That would help. Just remember that life is seasonal. There's winter, there's spring, there's summer, you don't need to be in this mad rush. You don't need to feel that everything needs to happen now, because it invariably it doesn't. Everything takes time. And those lessons, I think King Solomon wrote about that, about planting seeds. There's a time to sow, a time to reap. A farmer will know that. So maybe spend some time at a farm and get a clearer perspective on patience, on things moving through you, on there's not one way to do things. There's not one solution to satisfy everything. So be more flexible, open, and that will allow more creativity. But I would highlight having peace in the present moment. The meditation will help. The universe has more options for you. It's not one thing. So the thing is to quieten your mind, broaden your perspective, and allow that to come through for you. To plant the seeds, let them, water them, give that time, allow them to sprout, allow them to the seeds to grow. But definitely there's a lot of strong energy around you. The other card I'm picking for you, Jade, is actually rest. It's just saying slow down. It's almost like you're working at both ends, and you want to do everything, and it's saying just slow down. That's really important, that you just quieten down, relax, and give yourself some time. It definitely great energy around you, strong energy, intelligent, wisdom, but there's a force. You're kind of like a force of nature, and so that's wonderful. That's brilliant. So thank you, Jade, and thank you for sharing, and I really appreciate you coming on. And so I think after that, were we doing Helen? And so we're going to do Helen. Okay. All right. So just clearing the energy now. And we're going to come back to Helen. And I'm just going to shuffle the cards for you, Helen. Doing a quick shuffle. All right. So there's a couple of things coming up for you, Helen. There's still some indecision in your energy. There's a little bit of tentative energy, and that's important that you look at that as a pattern, because that is a pattern, and look at that pattern and go, well, how can I move past this? And I feel like it's important to shift your identity, and the kind of meditation we did earlier really helps that. You're this human being here to have an experience of life, and without all the shoulds, without all the needs, without all this is what you should be, this is what you should be doing, it's too confusing for you, and it's not helping you to see the light from the trees, or the whatever the saying is. There's too many thoughts of what it should be like, and clear all of that away and shift your identity into someone who is accepting of the present moment and embraces the present moment. And this indecision, it's just a pattern. It's not, don't give it energy. It's only real in as much as you give it energy and you feed it constantly, and you oh, should I do this? Should I do that? You're feeding that energy. So stop that, and actually, whatever, if there are 2 roads, if there are 10 roads, just go, all right, well, I'm going to feel into this and pick one, and that's it, Don't let your energy drain away. Don't let your meditate on the options and see where your spirit guides you. Consider what actually resonates with you most, what feels right for you, and that's a process. That's a goal. Follow your heart and then honor your choice. That's really important, Helen, because you are it's not serving you with this pattern, and I want you to be happy and healthy and in flow. And that's, if you can shift you can say affirmations. I am flowing with life. I am in flow. I am connected to the present moment. Everything is flowing to me, and say affirmations to yourself. Put it up on your wall. Things that inspire you, to keep things that remind you to stay in balance. I do see a partnership, a legal contract. There's something you are signing, some kind of commitment of a business nature, some kind of could be the sale of a home. It's definitely an agreement, and it looks kind of legal. So there's some kind of legal contract that you're signing as well. And then finally, in your reading, you are being called to become more aware of your spiritual connection and really honor that instead of doubting it, or because it feels like it's part of the indecision is that you're overthinking, you're up here, and actually honor the spiritual side of you in an authentic way that brings you balance and joy. So thank you so much, Helen, and great to see you again. We're going to look at Penny Clark Pridemore. We're going to do Penny next. So just clearing the energy and bring. So great to see you, Penny. And I also love to see people smile, because that makes me happy and makes me smile. So you have a smile that lights up the room, and it's kind of quite quirky, and it's funny. It's quirky, and it's also it kind of makes people laugh. It's a little bit naughty. There's a naughtiness. You're a character, so you are something. You're just there to shake things up and light people up and get them out of their pans and get them to wake up a bit and just see see the moon, see the reality, cosmic reality, see their life as something that we're here to play. We're not here to be so serious. Whatever it is we're doing. Some things I know seem pretty serious, but still we're just here to be in life. So Penny, thank you so much for coming in, and let's just see what energies are coming to you and if there's any message for you. So there is some opportunity that's waiting for you, Penny. I do feel that indecision, I was just speaking, maybe it's a theme of the day about indecision. I feel like there's a bit of indecision around you. On the other side is the magician. So the magician is, that's a powerful creative energy. And it also connects you to the other side. It says that you have spiritual support around you at this time, and definitely creative projects would really would be important for your personal and spiritual power to be activated. And there's a flame of passion and a flame of action around you, but a vortex of water, and it's a very beneficial card that's telling you that you are the magician and you have this grasp of spirit and the forces of nature, the forces of earth. This is a powerful time for you. So really embrace this, the intuitions in your that you're receiving. Set intentions in your heart to manifest your destiny, because the seeds are there, that energy is coming through. There's almost a bit of mud for you to push through with indecision. I am seeing a lot of blossoming, a lot coming through you, a lot of good financial setup. So things are going to change for you in a positive way, in terms of the physical side, more abundance, and it's important for you to get out of your own way sometimes and allow the flow and affirm that flow and be in the energy of I am blessed. I am blessed, and wake up every day with that notion, with that belief, I am blessed, because that's gonna allow things to flow more easily to you. I'm gonna pick a star card for you from the Starseed Oracle, Penny. I think that's something that you will connect to. It's also telling me to just be wary with the foods you're eating. There's some things that are disagreeing with your body. Usually the culprits are things like sugar and refined food, but it's telling me just for you to just take greater care of your health and become more educated about natural health and nutrition, about eating from the local farmers, from the farmers market, organic foods, and avoiding pesticides and hormones and other things in your environment. So really, if you can look after your health and avoid, things like too much corn syrup, sugar. It feels like corn syrup is actually really bad for you. So just be really mindful, Penny. Avoid the corn syrup. Read ingredients. Lessen the processed foods. So actually cook for yourself and get more educated about what's in processed food. What do they put in processed food and the health effects on your body. Let's actually pick this card for you. All right, so the first card is lifting the veil. So we are questioning everything, and what this process is saying to you is anything that's not aligned, you need to get rid of. So you need a clearing away, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You need this clearing away process to take you to the next stage, to move you to the next level in your life. You do have a protective energy around you. It's actually a masculine energy that's there to protect you, and you're more protected than you realize. There's a real protection. There's a real protection around you, it's by the Star Brothers, and they're there to make you feel secure and safe. And so you can call on them for support, because they're gonna protect you. So thank you so much, Penny. Great to see you, and I wish you well, and I wish you lots of happiness. And thank you for coming on. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the comments. Charlotte, you asked a few questions. I usually just do general readings, not specific. How about Maggie? Let's do Maggie next. Helen, thank you so much, Helen. That's wonderful. And let's see. And I don't know what that means. Sag girl, can I be ad? I'm not sure what that means. Bernice. Okay, we're just running out of time, so there's a lot of there's a lot of requests. So we're going to start with Maggie, and let's start with Maggie. Okay. So clearing the energy, Maggie, and just allowing this reading to be for our highest good, for the highest good of you and all involved. Okay, so very interesting cards for you, Maggie. I feel like you're quite a unusual and creative soul, and there's a lot of just a lot of creative energy around you. These cards are very, very interesting. So there is an angel of balance, which is just saying to you to keep balanced and have a balanced perspective. A lot of things out of sync in the past, and important that you reach this emotional equanimity. So more practices that can bring you into alignment, being in nature, yoga, meditation. Just make sure you're balancing your conscious goals with your physical and emotional energy as well. And when you feel yourself getting off center, just come back to your heart, Maggie, because I feel like your heart is really strong, and your angel will guide you to a peaceful and more centered place. There is definitely a connection to the world in this reading. So I feel like that's more in your career, where there's this ability to have a vision that's affecting other people and broader options and part of the world, part of the I feel like you could have a global impact, global network, perhaps, using technology, the internet. There's also this feeling of there's quite a limitless feeling with your energy, with with the world being your oyster. That's what I would say. The world is your oyster, which is really beautiful. And other than that, I'm just gonna see if there's anything final to say, Maggie, because I feel like you are having your wishes fulfilled. There is an abundant harvest, and blessings are coming for you. You may even feel in surprising ways that you're being blessed in different ways. So the blessings are not just in one part of your life, but in other parts of your life. So things are really coming forward for you in a beautiful way. So thank you so much, Maggie, and great to see you. And please share and like, and it was really good to have you. I think maybe we can I haven't seen Bernice before. I do like to do new people who I haven't seen before. So Bernice, I think you'll be the final reading. And Sag Girl, definitely come back next week, just because we're running out of time. And everyone else will be back next week, but the day before. So we'll be back for a lot of you. That's Tuesday next week, which is back to the regular time. So so just watch out for that, and would be great to have you back. Bernice, let's just clear the energy and look at Bernice. Just clearing the energy. So welcome to the show, Bernice. It's great to have you. All right. So I feel like it's just really important for you to have a strategic approach. I do feel there's a little bit of calculating, that you're really thinking about things a lot and planning things a lot. And I think it helps just to have a pen and paper around you and set specific strategy for achieving your goals and the direction you want to go. I feel like it's time to get things in order, and too many loose ends, too many fragments that aren't coming together, and gain full control and get really allow for harmonization and integration of your life goals, because I feel there's just a little bit of a cloud of confusion of thinking about too many things. So really make a clear plan and simplify and get to the essence, write things down, a clear strategy. And so that's great you're doing that. That's really positive. So let's carry on with you, Bernice. There is loving connections around you. So family, there is you are being cared for on the in terms of caring connections. I need to sneeze, sorry. I have I'm so sorry. I have a lot of hay fever, and anyways, so for caring connections, deeper connections, there's opportunities to deepen the bonds that you have, but there's karmic connections that are coming through for you. So definitely strong family connection, friendship, and also love, also romantic connections coming in your life, coming through for you. And let's just look at this other card, because that's really interesting, what's coming through with that. That's saying that actually there's a spiritual evolution happening, and this is a life expanding time, that there are that there is a high purpose to what's happening with you. So you are being guided along this path, and I feel like there's going to be a lot more awakening happening, a lot more realizations, epiphanies, and you'll gain more spiritual insights. I'm just going to pick a card here, but there's a lot more to say, Bernice. We can carry on off video. There are other things coming through, and let's just see if there's anything else, Bernice. So you're part of this tapestry of life, birthing creations. So birthing creations and expressions are really important for this lifetime that you're creating. So really, I feel like sometimes you're not creating as much as you can, and you have so much ability that it just needs to be expressed so the flow comes through, because if you don't express that, the flow gets blocked. So flow is really important, that you express yourself and allow things to flow, and that's gonna manifest into a lot of opportunities coming your way when people start to appreciate your creativeness and the beauty that you're weaving, because there's an ability to, with your consciousness, to weave breathe into life, to create something wondrous, and allow this to weave into your life. And it's like an artist energy. And so hear the whispers in your ears and express them creatively. What beauty are you being called to make? So there's some calling for you, Bernice, that you are here to create, and you're here to bring beauty into the world. So creativity and intuition are really sacred, and they come from the same beautiful source of divine, of the limitless, of the ephemeral. So manifest your creativity, allow yourself to create, and realize that being an artist, it's not something easy. Really find the spark that ignites your soul. Find it from within you. So don't look outside of yourself for that. This is it's almost like a star seed within you that needs to spark, that needs to come out, that needs to shine, because you're holding it in, and you're waiting for more support. Turn it around and actually just create and express yourself without expectation, without attachment, and just do it for you. So create for you, express yourself for you, and don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what other people think, what other people are doing. Just do it for you. So that's going to help, because I'm reading your comments and you feel alone because no one understands you. But there's guidance from family and angels coming through. All right, that's beautiful, Bernice. So you're a creative soul. You're not alone. There are other people out there just like you, people who understand you. You can come to our show anytime and share with us and create a community. You're definitely not alone. And sending you lots of love, Bernice, and maybe we can smile and bring some smiles. Sending love to Bernice, and thank you so much. It's been a great show, and thank you for sharing. And if you feel called to donate, there is a link below. I will see everyone, and thank you so much for being here on a different day. It's been really fun, and I will see you next week on Tuesday. All right, thanks everyone.